Hello and welcome to Life as a Dance, where we explore the rhythm, the steps, and the beautiful choreography of the human experience. My name is Wendy, and I'm going to send it over to my amazing co-host and husband, Taras.
Hey everybody, thanks again for joining us. If you're liking our video content, please click like and subscribe so you can get notified for any time we update or upload new videos. So, it's a little cold today, Wendy. It's cold.
I think it's cold everywhere, but it's kind of bizarre that it's this cold in Virginia Beach. There's no snow out there, but it certainly feels like snow. Luckily, we had some sunshine today. I think it was in the 30s in the sun, right, Taras?
Yeah, and it didn't feel like it was in the 30s. There was points where I was like, man, I'm hot. But I was hot because I'm wearing a hat. I got my Rochester gear out. So yes. Gloves, hat, heavier coat. Well, not heavier coat, but a coat that can keep the cold out. So.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, Taras, but I kind of like the cold for a little bit because I know it's not going to last very long, but I don't know, there's something nostalgic about it, just being cold and wearing hats and mittens and gloves. I don't know, I kind of liked it. I guess that's why we decided to take a couple adventures yesterday and today. So yeah. Should we share what we've been up to?
Yeah, so we are now in the market to actually purchase a house. We are ready to lay roots.
We're growing up.
We're growing up. We've been in Virginia Beach since 2009. And as of recording this, it is 2024. So it's been a few years. And, just being professional dancers and business owners and studio operators and consultants and coaches and judges, we're on the road a lot. So we haven't had an opportunity to really look in the area to actually see where we want to buy a house. So we figured after about 15 years of being here, maybe it's time. Maybe we know a thing or two. What do you think?
Yes. And I think if you're out there, you're going to hear people say, oh, you should be buying, you should be building equity. But in the market as of late, over the last few years, there's a whole other conversation about renting versus buying. So I'm not going to feel bad about it.
No, and nor should you, and nor should I, because when we moved here, it was the worst possible time to buy a house. It was the housing market crash, and it was just... none of it made sense at a time. And it's like, when you move to a new area at a time like that, that is the last thing that you're going to want to do because you're trying to build your business. And, it's just, we got into the habit of, we did have nice townhouses that we lived in. So this is our second. And our, for what we're paying in rent and what we're getting, it's an extremely fantastic deal. So,
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Didn't mean to stop you. I think part of it is we're really good tenants.
Yeah.
We really take care of it as if it was our own. Yeah. We always pay our rent on time. So it's interesting looking now, you could not get what we're getting right now for the price that we are. So
no, you can't. You're absolutely right. And it's true. It's like, even though we're renting, I like to tinker. And so it's like adjusting your choreography. Like, something feels good, I want to make something a little bit better here, but it doesn't have to be this. It's a nuanced thing when you tweak your choreography. So for instance, I changed out the kitchen sink faucet, and we changed it from just the contract grade faucet to one that you can pull out. I don't remember what it is, but it's the sprayer thing all at the same time. You click the little switch. Anyway, it changed it out. It's cool. So it made that little upgrade, made the kitchen feel a little bit better and a little more user friendly.
Mm-hmm. And we have a new carpet.
Yeah,
because we have all hardwoods, and so we haven't put it down yet. But I'm kind of excited about putting that down. But I'm making sure we get the right pillows and the right blankets for our sectional. So that's going to create some newness, but we'll be able to take that newness where we go too.
That's true. And that carpet would really match that house that we looked at yesterday. But I think one of the topics that we wanted to cover today is what is it that people look for when they look for a new dwelling, whether it be a house, a townhouse, an apartment. If you're moving to a new area, what are things that you look for? The things that we look for are, even between one another, are going to be different. So Wendy, what are your top 3 things you look for?
Ooh, you stole my idea.
I know. Well, you were prepared, so I figured.
So I think these would probably can change. I know every realtor always says you're going to need to make compromises. So I think for me, open floor plan, move in ready to some degree because of our lifestyle. We don't have a lot of time to do a reno, although that would sound amazing to do, to be able to make something exactly the way you want it. I have others, but I'm going to throw in their privacy because so many of the houses that we've been looking at with the varying price points that are pretty high, which is kind of shocking in this area, not being a big city, but none of the backyards have any privacy. So, what about those mornings where we want to go out in our robes and have our tea and coffee? Or what do you really like to wear, Taras, when you go out in the backyard?
So right now our townhouse it's just a small walkout little area that you can put your grill out. It has very little, it has no grass actually.
But it's cute.
It's cute, but it has a privacy fence, so I can walk out in my underwear and drink my coffee and not worry about, because we also are not backing anybody. We have a just non-building area, so it's just trees back there along with a privacy fence. So it's fantastic. Where the other townhouses in the neighborhood, they don't have that because we're on the outskirts of the.
We are so lucky to get that townhouse, that of all the townhouses that were available at that time, to be able to have that kind of privacy. Like when we get up in the morning, looking out our bedroom window, it's just trees. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it really is.
That's a bonus. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Taras. What are your top 3?
My first thing I would say is move-in ready. I am no longer in a place where I'm just like, I like to tinker, but I don't want to bust down. Like our close friend James, like he can buy a house and he can gut it and change it, and he'll see he can do like bathroom work and electrical work, and I'm not like our friend Danilo who can't do anything. I'm kidding, but he can't. No, I'm kidding. He'll try. He'll call James, and his kids will be like, maybe you should call James.
But he can dance.
He is. He is a brilliant dancer. But I do like to tinker. So, but I don't want to have to do any work, like heavy work. So move in ready. It needs to have a good flow. And then I don't want a huge yard. So yeah, I don't want to mow the lawn anymore. We had that in Rochester. I don't think I need that anymore. So those are my top 3 things.
If we want to add more things to our list, I would say no popcorn ceilings. I don't know why that's like no, a spacious master bedroom, 2 sinks for the master bath, a walk-in closet, a laundry room. I could just go on.
Yeah. All the, it's, what was your, you said your top, what was your top 3 again? There was
move-in ready, open floor plan, and what was my third
privacy.
one? Privacy.
So the open floor plan, because we were also talking about, it's like, what are some things that you would be like, okay, I have to forego this. And clearly an open floor plan that you can't forego. That's like, you either get it or you don't. And
I think that was solidified today, because a lot of the houses we looked at today were very blocky, like just rooms. It was just weird.
Yeah. There was a home we looked at yesterday that was perfect in my opinion. But it did not have privacy.
I know. But everything else
was awesome.
Was pretty awesome. And, I think when we were talking about this, to bring it back to our topic of life as a dance, is just that open flow. And we were talking about just the choreography of a house. So let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. For me, like a good figure, like a good dance figure, a good piece of choreography, like it works. And it's unique to every individual, what you like and what you try, what you want to express through your movement or what your living space is like. And for us, like I did this example of with and our other podcast, the Alpha Geek podcast, where we're talking about like movies. And there was a piece of choreography that we had, or like all our choreography, it was made for us. We designed it, we lived it, and it worked. And then if you get somebody that comes in and shakes it up and pretty much just turns it up over on its head, then it doesn't work anymore. So anyway, it's the same thing for like a house. You know, when you walk in, it's like the Lego movie. And we were playing this earlier today when the Lego Batman was like, no. I just love that scene. That was one of the houses, even though it had nice hardwoods and we know we could dance in it. But it was just 1950 style. Yeah. So it wasn't great.
You wonder too, was the house the way it was just because they were just like, it is what it is. We're just going to live like this because we don't want to make changes? Or how interesting, keeping it in the dance realm of like, did that choreography of that house make sense to them?
Yeah.
But then we walk in and we're like, this does not make any sense and this does not feel good to us. So I think houses are very personal. And maybe we're a bit unrealistic in hoping to find a house that fits what we're looking for, that's move-in ready. But I think we understand that there's going to be adjustments. But I think one thing we talked about was, can you dance? So if you're in the market of looking for a house, we want to advise you to grab your significant other and see if it feels good dancing in the kitchen or in the living room or in the master bedroom.
Yeah. It's like, you got to think about what is your lifestyle going to be like? And for us, like we'll put on a song and we'll do like a little bit of rumba or West Coast swing or, whatever comes on. Like I want to be able to groove to the music. And it needs to have that space where some people that may not be important to you. Maybe you like the small blocky type rooms. But going back to that first house that we looked at today, not the first house. It wasn't the first house. It was the second house. No, third house. The older house, the 1950s house. Yeah. It didn't check any of the boxes.
No. I felt bad literally the minute we opened the door, and I guess Batman was like, no, we can just leave. But the realtor approached us, and of course we didn't want to be like that. But we could have just literally one look inside the first portion of the house. We were just like, this is not it. Nope.
If you're a realtor and you're listening to this, please write a comment in this video letting us know if you see a potential homeowner coming in or somebody walking into your open house. Do you know right away that you're like, this ain't going to fit them? Or are you hopeful for every single person that comes in? Because I know for me, when I walked in and I didn't want to make eye contact with the realtor. I was like, I'm out. I don't even care. Don't even talk to me. I ain't going to fill anything out. Just, I'm out.
Yeah. And then just the price points now.
Bananas.
Just crazy how expensive houses are for what you get. Like I think what we're looking for, price point is probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the proverbial saying of where you have champagne taste and a beer pocketbook?
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy to think in, Virginia Beach, which is a beautiful place. We're so blessed to be here, but it's not like a huge metropolitan city. And we're talking not like houses, not like near the ocean where you would expect that price point to go up. I'm talking just normal neighborhoods where it's just outrageous.
Yeah. The statistics of people moving to Virginia Beach are going up. With interest rates going up, demand during post-COVID or during COVID, like the interest rates were low, but the inventory was also low because nobody was selling. People were trying to buy. So anytime something went on the market, people bought it not only at asking price, but above asking price because interest rates were so low, which caused everything to go up, which now... they say when prices go up, they never come back down. And even like at cars, like you like my Jeep, I can't remember I think they're now asking like $55,000 for these Jeeps. So because the demand was so high and everything was tough to get because of all the shortages and stuff, that now I think they're trying to discount them by like $15,000 right off the top, because they have so much more inventory now. But even still, like, once those car prices go up, they just never come back down. So my salesperson said that, and he's like, so that's why I ended up buying our Jeep, because I leased it and it was a really good rate, and we already knew. I'm the only owner, so I knew what went into it. But yeah, that's I wonder if that's why the prices are so high. So.
Yeah, thinking of vehicles, that's always a good thing. Like when we've leased for so many years, and then when you need a new vehicle, I mean, that's why I purchased it, because it's like, I know the history. I drove it. I already put the money into it. But that's the unknown about buying a house. It's like, who lived here? What's happened here? Yeah. One big thing for me is like, I don't want to buy a house if anyone's ever smoked in it. That is a huge no-no for me. Or cats. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to, I mean, cats are cute, but if there's a lot of them, those are a couple things like I would want to know. Did anyone smoke in here? Yeah,
smoking, that's a big thing, because that gets into the paint even. And but cats, I think she's saying that because of me, because I'm severely allergic to cats, and dander is really hard to get out everything, especially if there's rugs already in there, so everything has to be torn up. And then once you start tearing up rugs, if they had pets, like the pets are going to the bathroom, and the floors are going to be stained. And we've watched enough reno shows and flipping houses to know that what's in that carpet, under that carpet, sketch.
Yeah, that's right. So when you buy a used car, you can get the history of the car. I want the history of the house. Yeah. I want to know what happened there.
Yeah.
That's another thing I think is really important to me.
Yeah.
What happened in this house?
A couple of years ago, we were looking at houses, and there was one we walked in that was by the water, and there was a room that we walked in, and it was no windows, no anything. And you just know that something weird was probably going on in that room, or something was in there that nobody wanted to have found. So being in a military town, I'm sure it was probably his own personal vault of, I don't know if it was a gun vault or whatever, but I mean, it was a room that was, if it wasn't Virginia Beach, you'd be like, Sketchville.
Yeah, speaking in the words of dancing, the house has got to have a good vibe. Like if you walk in and you don't get a good feeling, if there's a room, it's like, can you look at that room and be like, is there anything we could do to make this room feel better? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're looking for good vibes.
Good vibes, good flow, good vibes. Dancing room, music room, shed, so I can do some building.
She shed?
She shed? He shed?
She shed or he shed?
Yeah.
Who gets the shed?
Well, if you want to work out in the cold and do some stuff with woodworking, and you get the shed. I'll get the garage.
Yeah. Tying dancing into real estate, I think we could have been good realtors.
I know you could have.
I love looking at houses, but I would be so curious about that realtor when you, like the realtor today, when you're like showing a house and you just see that it's like project after project, it's got no flow, it doesn't have, what do they say, street appeal? Is that the word?
Curb appeal.
Curb appeal, excuse me. Like, I think a realtor's got to be really good because the other day when we looked at the house, I was really honest. I was like, I just see project after project, and for the price point, I think you got to have vision like we do. When people come in and they don't know how to dance, and we're able to be like, this is the vision. This is the crystal ball. This is what dancing can do for you. To be able to say, this is what the house looks like now, but what it could look like.
Yeah.
But also knowing who you're talking to, because if you're talking to people that don't want projects, you might just want to be like, this is not the house for you.
That's why I wonder if there's any realtors listening to this, if you can spot those people. They're like, you're not going to want this project. And I feel like the one realtor, she was like, yeah, this one's not going to be for you guys. Actually, I felt like that was on both of the houses that we looked at today. Oh, we actually went to an open house. We went to go see 3, and the second one or was it the third one?
The second one, we're like, the third one. We drove in and we were just like, nope.
We're out.
We're not even going to go in.
We want to move forwards, not backwards.
Yeah, exactly. So, so if you're in the market of looking for a house, and this podcast has spoken to you, if you have any tips for us, we've mentioned Zillow. If there's other search engines or tips that you have, please share them. We'd like to know.
Yeah. And we're going to keep you updated with all of our findings in the future. So if you want to hear about those things, don't forget to click like and subscribe to these videos so you can get that notification. Oh, also hit that notification bell so that when our new videos come out, you'll know.
And maybe, just maybe, the next house that we look at that we feel inspired, we'll dance in it.
Yeah.
I'd be curious as to what the realtor would do, but that would be nice. But today, we had no inspiration to dance, unfortunately.
No.
So I think that's it. Oh, actually, before we sign off, I would like to just congratulate you, Taras and Antoine, with your Alpha Geek podcast. If you're not listening to Alpha Geek podcast, check it out. We have things to celebrate. These two have over 15,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we've hit many milestones from 5 to 10 to 15, and we look forward to growing our channel even more. Alpha Geek Podcast covers everything that you can nerd out about, from cars to comics to movies to TV shows. So if that's some stuff you're interested in, feel free to check us out at Alpha Geek Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. But thanks for the plug.
My pleasure. And if you've been liking our content and inspired to find the harmony in life through dancing through life, please share. As Taras said, like, subscribe, tell people about this podcast. And I hope you have an amazing week. Taras, anything else to sign us off?
No. I just think you look adorable in that hat, and that's all I want to say.
Thanks. Ditto. I feel the same. Stay warm out there and keep dancing.
Yeah.